Welcome to the library, young man.
Within the pages of a book,
This is my friend Fufu Cuddly Poops.
a world
Cuddly
of
Poops.
magic awaits.
I've come to deliver some bad luck.
Hi guys, welcome to Nightingale Reviews. I'm Bailey, I'm Bailey, the banished bibliophile, and this is my guest, again, Christian, the Curious Quill. Yes. Today we're going to be doing our Booktubeathon 2018 TBR. Honestly though, like 7 books takes me like 2 months to read, so this will be an experience. I expect a fail! The first challenge is to let a coin toss decide your first read. Let me grab a coin. Let me grab a coin and set that down.
Okay, so the first one is just called The Hero. So it's just a retelling of an ancient Greek myth of Heracles, who's the son of Zeus. I think he was like the first, they consider him like the first superhero. So that's this one.
Look at it. This is the art style.
Not many words.
It's a good first start book.
And the second one is Animus by, I can't pronounce his name. It was inspired by Japanese manga, but it reads left to right.
Snazzy.
So it's these two people who come across a Japanese children's playground, and they meet a ghost kid, and they have to figure out what happened to him. Heads. Tails.
Alright. Lucky coin.
I thought you were gonna grab a quarter. Well, you can do the flip.
I don't know how to do the fancy thing, so it is hits.
Okay, so Animus wins.
So I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be choosing 2 graphic novels because I want to feel like I accomplished something by reading at least 1 book this week. So my first option is Devil's Line Volume 5, which basically follows sort of the storyline of vampires, but they're called devils in this book, who most of them don't drink blood. Once they do, they sort of become monstrous, and so most of them try to refrain, and most people don't know who is a devil and who's human, because if you don't drink blood, then you look like a perfectly normal human being. And a small portion of devils who don't drink blood work in this one section of the police force, which is very secretive, high profile, nobody knows about it. And next thing you know, there's a sect that comes up that hates devils and wants to destroy them all. What's his name? What's the main kid's name? Anzai? Anzai?
Where?
I don't know how you pronounce his name. Okay.
Like when they say "ong."
Ang! So this series follows our main character Anzai as he falls in love and is trying to resist his devil urges. My other option is Mark Siegel's Sailor Twain or The Mermaid in the Hudson. I think that was what it was previously named. What's this about, Christian? Christian read this and she recommended it to me.
It follows Captain Twain, and he's in charge of a steamboat whose name eludes me, who's owned by this guy named a French nobleman, and the French nobleman never leaves the ship, and he claims he can't leave the Hudson River. He can never go on land. And so Sailor Twain one night comes upon a stabbed mermaid hanging onto the rails of the steamboat, and he takes her in and decides to nurse her back to health. Twain's trying to take care of this mermaid, and then Jock's trying to break the curse, and there are 2 stories intertwined.
This one will be heads. This one will be tails. It's tails.
Heads.
Yay! Okay. So, Devil's Line wins! Challenge 2 is read a book about something you want to do.
Animus.
Help a ghost child!
Yeah.
Excellent!
I really don't have one of these. You know what I also could have said? Hunted. Hunt a cursed hot man.
Hunt a cursed hot man. So, okay. So, mine is going to be Devil's Line. I'm using it for 2 things because I'm a multitasker, and mine is basically mine is basically sort of like a really roundabout way of what I want to do.
Creeping back.
I I really love manga and I really love anime, and this manga has been turned into an anime, and I'd love to be an anime voice actress because I love to do voices. So I would really love to do that, even though it's never gonna happen. Challenge number 3 is read a book and watch its movie adaptation.
So I cheated. I have Dragon Rider. It's becoming a movie. Dragon Rider. Cornelia Funke.
Mine is Perfume by Patrick Siskind. I'm sorry, I don't really know.
You're gonna
It's
have to
French.
bleep that out.
Anyway, Perfume, the story of a murderer, is something I heard about on a Canadian booktuber's channel who I really wish I could remember the channel's name, but I love that video. It was like a Halloween's recommendation. And she came up with this as one of her recommendations, and it's basically about this man who was born without a scent, like he doesn't have a smell.
The manly musky.
I don't So he's born without a scent, and so he sort of becomes obsessed with making scents. So anyway, he decides he wants to make perfumes, and he now really wants to make a perfume regarding, let me find it exactly. He wants to find the scent of life itself, and so basically he goes around killing women to find that and capture that scent. And it sounds real funky. I was really hoping there are multiple editions of this book, and the library workout had it, and I was so excited. I said, it better not, it could be any edition but this edition. And it was this edition, and I can't tell you how hard it was to try and walk around with this in the library and try not to let anyone see it, because it's two-sided. It's two-sided, but like no shame, no shame. I also got the movie from the library, and so I'm really excited, except I didn't realize it was 2.5 hours, and I'm just like, but I'm hoping I'll really, really like it, because I'm into weird stuff. Challenge 4 is read a book with green on the cover.
Okay, so my next book is Megan Spooner's Hunted. It's a Beauty and the Beast
retelling.
It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, in which they claim beauty is deadlier than the beast.
For mine, I'm going to choose Sailor Twain by Mark Siegel, because again, I'm trying to double up here. And number 2, I would classify this as like a sea green, and as long as it's a version of green, like. Challenge 5 is read a book while wearing the same hat each time you read it until you finish it.
What's the shortest book I've got? Mind Games
Where are
by
your
Kirsten White. I think it has to do with people with psychic abilities, and someone can see the future. In order to get past them, they come up with a plan in which they make decisions on the fly.
That'll be your hat.
That'll be my hat.
I will again be using Devil's Line because it's the shortest. And I'd like to get challenges just right out of the way. I will be donning this lovely thing. I was going to demonstrate the hat on my head, but then this happened, and I'm afraid what would happen if I combine the two looks. I'm going to pretend it's a symbol for the Phi Nation.
Even though it's really not.
I'm going to feel powerful while wearing it. The 6th challenge is read a book with a beautiful spine.
I'll be using the Hero. Double tap.
For this, I will be using The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. I'm very excited about this one. It basically follows Prosper Redding, who is trying to get rid of a demon. So that's really exciting. I've heard it has kind of Halloween town vibes, and we love that movie so much. So I don't think I'll actually get to this one, which is going to be really sad, but I definitely want to try because I've had this for a while. And the last challenge is to read 7 books.
So I have 2. I have The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry, and I have Dreams of Shreds and Tatters, who's by Amanda Downham. This woman, her husband has recently passed away, so she's a widow. And she and her 11-year-old son and her best friend go on an adventure because they hear that the legendary Essex serpent has returned, and she believes it's just an undiscovered species. So she goes out to investigate, and that's what this story follows. It says it's a historical novel, and I'm praying it's not magical realism. Next one follows Liz Drake. She finds or she thinks her best friend Blake needs help, and when she goes to find him, she discovers that he's been in a coma. And so she has to enter the dreamland in order to save him.
So basically, because I used all my books for the same challenges, I have to read 3 other books. My 5th book will be Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix, the first book in the Shadow Children sequence, which I read this entire series before when I was around 6th and 7th grade, and I really want to reread it because I'm interested to see if I still enjoy it. And my least favorite books in the series were the first and last, so you just gotta power through the ones you didn't enjoy to get to the ones you did enjoy. I'm talking about Among the Brave here. So, this book in particular is kind of like a dystopian. It follows this boy named Luke who lives in a society where you're only allowed to have 2 children. Because they said the world's too overpopulated and they need to conserve, so you're only allowed to have X amount of offspring. So he is a 3rd child, so has to be kept hidden. So he has to hide from society, but then he lives sort of in an isolated kind of country area, but then one day they find out that they're going to make sort of like a housing development go up next door, and so he's not going to have the freedoms that he used to because he was so far away from people. And one day he sees a girl in the window who he's never seen before of a neighboring house, and he wonders if she's also a hidden child. And there the story takes off. I don't remember if they die if they find you or what. My 6th book will be Bob by Wendy Mass and Rebecca Steed, or Stead. I apologize, I'm not 100% sure how to say that. And it is illustrated by Nicholas Gannon. This book was recently acquired at the library, and I covered it. I think I did a pretty fantastic job. I think it's quite lovely. And I believe that I will hope to get to this one. This is about a girl named Livy whose grandmother lives in Australia, and she hasn't been to see her grandmother in about 5 years, and so she goes to visit her, and she doesn't remember much about the first experience when she was with her grandmother in Australia. And when she goes to her grandmother's house, she finds this green monster dressed up in a chicken suit named Bob. And she has no idea what the heck is going on, but I think Bob basically tells her that I was here 5 years ago, and you hid me in this closet, and you said you'd come back and you'd help me find my way home. She doesn't really remember this, but she knows that she has to keep her promise. So this is that story. Again, might be magical realism again with this Bob in a chicken suit. It might be fantasy, but I don't think so. My last and final book will be Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I'm really hoping to get to this one. Again, I also read this in about 6th grade, and I would love to reread it. I recently watched the movie for a second time at Halloween this year. And this book, if you do not know, is about a girl who moves into this building, and she finds this doorway to this other world, where everyone in her own world is replicated in this new world, but very creepy-like. And this woman named the Other Mother wants to keep Coraline there, and so she has to find a way to save herself and everyone while trying to escape this other mother. We're super excited for the Booktubeathon. I'm sorry for that long TBR video. We never make TBR, so it's real weird for us. But we're really hoping it goes well. Hoping to get at least 2 books read. And
You're hoping it goes well. I know it won't go well.
Yeah, it's a pipe dream. Yay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck with the Booktubeathon. Mwah! Bye!
Just awkwardly sit here.